Hi everyone, Roy Neary from Data Spinners here, continuing with the document management system over the Common Data Service for apps. So far we have done the user stories, the wireframe, we've built the entities, and now we're going to sort of provision the app screens. So let us go on to the onto Power Apps, and we're going to go up to apps, and we are going to go create an app. I think on this one maybe I'll just literally create it from blank, which will be entertaining. I mean, we may this may be the best way of doing this sort of an app. We can actually start with data, but I think we're just going to end up with lots of things that we're gonna find perhaps a little bit frustrating. So I think that if we just literally do this one as a blank app and kind of see where we go from it, I need to work out what layout this app is going to be. I think, to be honest, from most of the time that we're on this app, we're actually going to be looking at looking at the documents, etc., in a phone layout, so it'll be vertical because the documents are A4 and so on. So I'm going to go with phone layout, but you can actually switch them around. Let's hope we don't live to regret this. So I have got a blank screen, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of provision these the screens that I need, even if I end up deleting them. So I'm just going to pop a few new screens in. So let's call it SCR landing. We'll definitely need one of those. And then what we're going to move through to, I think we're actually effectively going to move through to our suppliers screen. So we need to just do that. So new screen. I actually think this one is going to be a list screen. Okay, and that's kind of handy, isn't it? Because we've got lots of bits and pieces here. So I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call it SCR suppliers. And you can see that we do have an opportunity to add new suppliers in and so on. So but I'm gonna, well, given that we do have an opportunity to create new suppliers, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a screen, and I'm going to call it new supplier. So go new screen, we're going to call it a form screen, and we're going to go SCR new supplier. So rename it SCR new supplier, because that is just going to keep happening every time you create a new one. Then when you first start out, you're going to be creating tons of new suppliers, and lo and behold, it's starting to look like one of the apps they normally create. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We and then I think what we need is a documents screen, and I think it's going to be a scrolling screen. So we're going to go new screen, and we're going to do a list screen. And we're going to call it SCR documents. Good. And then beyond that, well, that's going to be lots of documents, obviously. And as I look through this, I guess it's occurring to me that maybe new supplier isn't a good name for this one. I think it's let's call it because effectively it's a new or edit supplier. You from these screens you can create a new one, or you can edit the supplier that you've already got. Now chances are with a new supplier you just basically push in the new supplier and then that's it. Whereas maybe with a document screen, you may want to do something where you can edit a document that's there already. So there's a strong possibility there. So we've got our list document here. I'm going to go new screen, and this is going to be a form screen, and I'm going to rename it and call it SCR new or edit document. Bit wordy, but I can't think of anything better at this stage. And you can, because of the way in which the formulas work, you can actually change it quite easily. So we have our screens. I have the strange feeling that it may be better to have, maybe different coloring depending on the screen that you're in. It may be more obvious, once we're further into the app, whether or not that's going to be a problem. So, okay, great, got our screens. Almost certainly not going to be enough of them. I think that one screen that we are missing is a kind of view document screen. So we'll go new screen. It's not really going to be it's not going to be a scrollable screen. I think I'll go for a scrollable screen, but just because I can. But I don't think that there's going to be any scroll. It's only really because I get the bar at the top, so I could actually use the form screen and then just delete the form. I think that might be the best way of doing this, because otherwise I'll end up with a scroll bar at the side that I don't actually need. So so let's go with that. So we are looking at this. We're going to do a rename on that screen. Let's call it screen view document. Okay, good. So let's just pause for a moment there. We can obviously look at all of our screens in this way. I think what I am going to do is, because it's going to be quite confusing, I may actually do a bit of a change to the colouring, just because it's I can see this. I'm just going to go for some kind of green colour on this, but I need to see where that's actually coming from. Okay, well the easiest way of finding this is if I go onto this page here, and that's what I need there. And I'm just going to find some kind of green colour. I'm going to go with the fill, and let's just go with this kind of green colour here. It's a bit weird green, but let's go with that one there. And we will do the same on this one here, just so that as we're looking through it, we've actually got, we know kind of, where we are. Are we on suppliers or are we on documents? So we'll do the same on this one here. Oops, that was not where I wanted that to go. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go on to the rectangle, and we're going to go to the fill, and then we're going to go down there, and that's that for the moment. Okay, cool. So we have our screens at the ready. Okay, guys, thanks for that, and we will see you in the next one, where what I'm going to do is I'm going to start attaching the various screens to the data.